So today we have Danielle here, who's laughing a ton. But me and Danielle have been working together for quite some time now. What in a sense, like January is when we first started working
I think
together.
it was actually December.
December. Well,
Yeah, I think it was in
December,
December.
uh, probably December. So December, January, something like that, up until today, which has been almost 10 months or something like that, if not very close to it.
That's a long time.
And Danielle first came across me back in what it was like August or September.
Yeah, it was like a while before I started working with you, a good few months.
Yeah, and
I
just at
think it
this
must have
time,
been about August.
yeah. So at that time, I was pretty. I wasn't as had as nowhere near as many artists I was working with at this point, and just basically, I just did a lot of research on myself. Ended up deciding to go ahead and get started, and we'll just talk about her process of getting started, where she's at now, and what she's got going on, and what she got also planned for the future, right? So before getting started, Danielle, tell everyone a little bit about like what you was thinking before getting started, how things was going for you before you were starting, just that whole realm of things.
Yeah, so before I started working with you, really I just done like drawings, paintings for like family members, close friends, stuff like that. I hadn't really done paintings or anything for anyone that I didn't know firsthand. And I was just sort of struggling really to work out how to get clients, and I just sort of didn't think that anyone would really want to buy my work. So I was in a bit of
Yeah.
a little bit of a rut, and I didn't really know what to do. And then I come across you, and I just saw all these people that you were helping. They're like, oh yeah, I sold this, I sold that, and I'm like, how? I just didn't get it. And then yeah, obviously we started working together, and then everything now is just completely flipped. And it's just like sort of second nature getting clients now.
Yeah,
Nice and
yeah.
easy.
So now let's back up a bit. So when you first was getting started, at that point, you were still in uni, so you were still attending university. So how was it like balancing the two, like just selling art, plus you was working, if I'm not mistaken, two jobs
Yeah.
and going to
Yeah, so
school,
I
and now you have to
was
balance art.
yeah, so I literally just started my final year of uni. So I was in my third year. I was working two jobs. So I work as a sales assistant, and I was also teaching kickboxing all at the same time. And then I started trying to sell my artwork on top of it. So I sort of piled myself pretty high. But I think that's why it took me from like August to December to sort of start working with you, because I was just so busy. I was like, there is no way that I can fit all of this in. Like, there's just no way. So I think we had a few conversations, and then we sort of worked out that I would be able to sort of fit it in. Like, it was a struggle, like everything, like, but you just sort of adapt to it. Like, it just means that I'd have to sit up till late at night to work or wake up earlier in the morning to do stuff. And it all balanced out in the end. And now
Yeah,
I think it was just after like I sort of got into a routine, and it was all fine.
yeah, yeah. So getting started, like I know you was following me for some time and then you decided to get started. While you was in school, was it always like your dream to be a full-time artist?
Yeah, so I think I've always loved art since I was younger, but I sort of just sat there like when I left like school, I was like, oh, I don't know, like there's no way that I can make money like selling art. Like I basically thought it was just a dream. I was like, some people like obviously get famous, but then I was like, most rich artists are all dead. I was just like, there's just no way that I'm going to be able to like actually live off of selling my artwork. So when I left school, I went and I studied, and I was a hairdresser. I didn't like it, and I was like, oh, what else do I like? I like sport. So then I went and I studied sport. So I was like, oh, I can make good money doing sports. So I studied sport, went all the way through uni, and then I was still sat there. I was like, I'm actually still unhappy. I was like I could earn a lot of money from this, but I'm just not happy with what I'm doing. And then I was sort of talking to my boyfriend. He's like, well, what else do you like to do? Like, you've sort of exhausted everything now. Like, there's got to be something else you like to do. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
I like painting. Like, that's all I like to do is paint. But I was like, no one's gonna ever buy I work, so it's just sort of like a waste of time. He's like, no, like just go for it. It's like, just go for it. It's like, whatever you do, if you put enough effort into it, you'll make money from it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I thought he was crazy.
And speaking of crazy, so let's talk about like the first time we got on that very first call and you was making the decision to work with me. I remember you selling the goal at like 1,000 or $2,000, and I was telling you need to be aiming for like 4,000.
Yeah, I just thought there was something wrong with you, to be honest. I was like, no way. I was like, I've literally haven't even made like £1,000 for a whole year. I was like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to make more than that in a month. I was like, it's just impossible. And now, I think like in 1 week I made like, I think my best week was like nearly 3,000. I mean, in dollars, it was like nearly $3,000.
Yeah,
It was like my best week. Like I had one really, really good week. Like that's just
yeah,
crazy. Like that's more than what I made in a whole year. I made it in a week.
yeah,
Like before working with you, which was just insane.
yeah, that's pretty cool. So let me ask you this. So when it came to us getting started working together, I know like that was a bit of nervousness in the beginning, right? So what made
Yeah,
you
like
decide?
obviously, like when stuff, well, it just seemed like too good to be true, really. Like I was like, there's no way. Like, it just seems too good to be true. I was like, but like I think even like when people message me through you, they're like, oh, is it a scam? And in my head, like before starting working with you, I was like, maybe it's a scam. And then you're like, oh yeah, I'll send it through PayPal. And then I was like, oh, if it's done through PayPal, worst comes to worst, they'll give me my money back. So yeah, I was nervous and I was like, oh, it probably won't work. I don't know if it will work. And I was like, like sometimes you just got to say, well, what have I got to lose? Like, if I'm not making money from my artwork before, and then I don't end up making that money from my artwork after, nothing's changed. Like, I'll still be doing my degree, I'll still be studying. But then I was like, but on the flip side, if it goes well, then I can be doing what I've always wanted to do, which luckily
Yeah,
that's what it's turned out to be like.
yeah, just living a dream. So
So yeah, it was a little bit of
so
nerves there.
yeah. So for you, when you first got started, at that time I didn't have like a course or anything. I was just doing one-on-one teaching, right? So when you first started
Yeah.
working with me, we started having those one-on-one calls, and literally you just had to take as many notes as possible while on the call, and just hopefully you get everything and just apply it. So what was
Yeah, I've
that like
literally,
those first that first
uh,
month of learning from me?
that my book was full. Like we didn't even have a sales script or anything. Like it was literally just we sat there and just like went through what I should be talking about, and I ended up like writing out my own script, which like personal to my artwork, which was quite nice that we done on the one-to-ones. But yeah, it was crazy. Like my hand, like after the end of our phone calls, my hand just hurt from writing everything down. I've always had hand ache. But no, it
So
was really good. I enjoyed our one-to-one calls, definitely.
yeah, yeah. And literally, I remember I used to just be like, look, we have literally 1 hour. So there's a lot of information I got to get through. So I'm gonna just talk a lot and you just take notes. And
He's
at the
like,
end, that's
you're like, I'll
gonna be
talk a
that.
lot, you just write a lot. And then if you've got questions, we'll deal with the questions at the end.
Yeah, but it worked out. So now I want to ask, when it comes to you making your first sale, how was that? Walk me through that experience and just how you felt afterwards and things like that.
Well, I remember when we first started working together, it was like just before Christmas. And obviously, because it was just before Christmas, I couldn't do any Christmas like orders because there wouldn't be enough time for like me to ship stuff out and stuff. So I think I remember it took us like a couple of weeks to get off my first sale because everyone was sort of like
Yeah.
poor because they'd been buying everyone's Christmas presents and stuff like that. And then that's like, I think it took a couple of weeks, didn't it? And I was just sat there like, oh, it's probably not working, not working. And it got to like January, and I think everyone decided to spend all their Christmas money. And I was like, I missed you, like, oh, I done it. Like, it worked. And I think I messaged you like 3 times in that day. I was like, oh my God, I just sold like 3 paintings. I was like, damn. And it was like that sort of like realization that it was like working. I was like, oh shit. Like it's working.
Yeah,
And
I
I think
remember
that
that. I
week we
remember.
ended up doing like quite a few sales. Yeah, we ended up doing quite a few sales in that week after
Yeah,
Christmas.
I
That
think
was good.
first that first week once things started working for you, I think it was like $2,000 that week or so.
Yeah, I think everything just sort of clicked into place after that.
Yeah. And then like afterwards, I noticed you say things started clicking into place. So just moving forward from there, what was it like to start making those sales more consistently? Because I know like over time, at this point, you didn't sold and been backed up on faulty commission work. So getting to that point,
Yeah, it was great. Like selling it, selling my work was amazing. My only problem at that time was I couldn't paint fast enough to keep up with the orders because of all of my work that I had for uni. So like all of my university work I had, like obviously because I was my final year, I was doing my dissertation, everything,
yeah,
and I was taking in more orders than I could get out. So it like sort of caused that sort of issue. It was a very nice issue to have, but it was like by the time I'd finished uni, I then had like I think I had like close to like 50 paintings in the end that I needed to get out. And I'm still working through all of
yeah,
them paintings now. I think I'm down to like 27 now,
yeah.
which is okay. Maybe less
A
than
lot of,
that. Like, I'm in the 20s now, and I'm like, they're coming down, they're coming down. I cannot wait. I worked out that by sort of like the first slash second week of October, I will have none left if I carry on painting at the same speed. So that is lovely. And I can start
yeah.
taking orders again.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. So now, like, and another thing I wanted to ask is like, now that you're making sales and really getting into a position to, or if not already in a position to really create art as a full-time career or full-time living, how's that like having an impact just on you as far as like your life and things like that?
Oh, it's lovely. I'm not happier. Like, I only work like I've kept my sales job just so I've got like, I like to have like guaranteed money. Like, this is all my bill money. And I sort of use
Yeah,
that for that. And then all of my art money, I've just been saving up so that then I can reinvest it like back into my artwork and like buy nicer materials, do like more extravagant things when I come to creating my own work. So I'm looking forward to it. I think I could probably quit my sales job. Like, I could easily quit it and just live off my artwork. But
yeah,
I think to start with, I just want to like make as much money as I can and just sort of have my artwork separate. So all the money that I earn from my artwork at the moment stays as art money, if that makes sense. But it
yeah,
has like, otherwise, if I hadn't been started doing this, I'll be looking to go back and do a master's to then get a job in sport, which I can't see myself doing now. I literally can't see myself doing anything else apart from painting now.
yeah. Which is the goal, right? Which is the dream.
The 100% the goal. 100%. I just can't wait to start doing all my own artwork and then making prints and stuff like that.
Yeah, which is coming soon. So let me ask you
It
this:
is coming soon.
while going through the program of working with me, what would you say was I guess you could say the biggest thing to overcome?
Um, oh, that's a good question. I think we had like a little like couple of months when I was like really deep into my uni work where I just couldn't, I had that little sort of phase where I stopped like being able to make orders. And I realized
Yeah,
it was because I was like tired and just stressed out and doing so much work that I wasn't putting like enough effort into all of the stuff that you taught us to apply. And because I wasn't doing it properly, that's why I wasn't getting the sales. And then I sort of sat down, we spoke about it, And then we went through and we looked at everything that I was doing. You're like, this is what you're doing wrong. You need to be doing this. And then when we sat and we looked at it, and then all my sales started coming back in again. But I just remember that little bit. I was like, oh no, it just sort of, it only worked for a couple of months. Now it stopped. I was like, why did it stop working? But it was me.
Yeah,
It was me making mistakes.
I remember that. That
So
had
I
to be
think
like
it was really
around,
just like making sure. It was like around like April, I think.
yeah, April,
I feel like it
May.
was around April. Yeah, April, May. So I think it's just making sure that I apply everything properly as I meant to. And videos. I still haven't like started really videoing myself to do
I
like
know.
anything of which I need to start doing. I know. I've just thought we'll save that for when I start doing my own artwork.
So,
Yeah.
and as far as learning from me, what you say was is probably your favorite thing, like the thing that you love the most or enjoyed the most or happy that you end up learning. So what was your favorite part of the entire
How
program?
to literally just how to interact with people to like so that they'll buy my artwork, like that sort of, yeah, it's like what you're posting and all that sort of, everything comes under the same bubble, but like actually learning how to speak to people to sell my artwork, and then like being
Yeah,
able to like adapt everything to each person so that I can talk to literally anyone anywhere in the world, and I will still be able to sell them my artwork because I know how to talk to anyone.
yeah,
Like it all
yeah.
works the same.
All right, just having those conversations to convince someone to be interested and just purchase your artwork.
Yeah, like sort of building that sort of relationship with someone where they trust you enough to buy something. Like basically what you done with me and what you do with all of us lot to get us to go on the course.
Yeah. So now, coming to the end of things, I have two more questions I want to ask. Going into 2020 financially, so I know coming into 20, I'm sorry, going into 2021, leaving 2020. In 2020, I made you set a goal at $4,000, and now it's safe to say that you crushed that goal.
Yes.
Going into 2021, setting if you had to set a monthly goal now, what would that monthly goal be?
Um oh, I don't know. I wanna obviously I wanna start doing my own artwork now
Yeah,
and start making prints and stuff. Like I know we spoke about and we said hopefully by the end of 2021 I should be able to do like maybe 10K in a month.
yeah,
So that would be a goal. It's very optimistic, but I think set your goals high, and then if I don't quite achieve it, I think I'll be very happy at anything near that amount. So I'd like to think 10K would be good.
yeah. So going into 2020, basically you want to start doing about 10K a month and just move away from the commissions and just start working on your own original style work.
Yeah, I think like for now, I'll probably end up still taking more commissions up until the end of the year because it's coming up for Christmas and everyone wants their pets painted and
Yeah,
all that stuff. But hopefully in 2021, I'll slowly like transition out of it and then just end up doing just my own artwork.
yeah, yeah, which is the goal. And last, I just want to say, giving advice to other artists now that you actually like wasn't making sales, went through the program, and now making sales consistently month after month to the point where you can make a full living out of creating your art. What advice would you just give out there to other artists that just want to be in your position?
Well, just talk to you. Just join your court. Literally, that is it. Like that is it. Like I couldn't have done it without your course. Like literally, I couldn't have done it without your help. Like I'd have still been probably sat here just painting for friends and family, like making less than $1,000 a year. So that would literally my only advice is literally when he says, "Oh, just join the course, it's this much," just pay it. Just pay it. Like it's an investment. Like you got to rather than looking at it as, oh, it's like this much money. Like you just got to look at it as in you are investing in yourself. You're investing in your own art career. Like you only get out what you put into things.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. Of course, I agree with investing in me.
Yeah, you're going to agree with it, but like just in any like in anything, in any situation, any scenario, if you don't invest into something, there's no way that you're ever going to get anything out of it.
Yeah. That's one thing I always actually say to a lot of the artists I talk to on the call. I say, like, worst case, you're gonna be in the same position that you're already in before working with me, you know? But it's
Yeah,
like you mentioned, best case, it could potentially change your entire life, you know,
which I
in
think
your
it
art
has
career.
done for pretty much everyone that's worked for you. Like, I don't think I've seen
Yeah.
anyone that hasn't made any sales working with you.
Yeah.
Worst case
All the,
scenario, you'll just end up making at least the money back that you spent.
yeah. All the time people ask, so you always talk about your successful artists. What about the ones that don't succeed? I just be like,
There aren't any.
yeah, I'm like,
There's
oh,
literally there's not any.
I don't want to say that there's not any because then you're gonna be thinking I'm full of crap, but
No, but there's not really. Like I know, like even like I had like that little patch where I didn't do too well for like a couple of months. Like there are people that might have taken a couple of months to then work everything out. But I think once you've got everything down to a T, you know what you're doing. It's pretty foolproof.
yeah, yeah. So now that we at the end of the interview, for those who want to check you out, see your art, or even be interested in purchase some of your art, 'cause I'm pretty sure there's a lot of artists that have pets out there and stuff. Where can they find you just on social media?
So both of my social media accounts, on Facebook it's Danielle Brown Art, and again on Instagram, just as one long word, Danielle Brown Art, and that
Yeah,
is me.
and also underneath the video, I just put your name as well as your social media accounts for those who want to check you out because you're crazy, crazy talented. And yeah,
Thank you.
once again, I want to thank you, Danielle, for just coming on to this interview and just sharing your experience working with me and what you got going on at the moment and also what you got planned for the future.
You're welcome. Thank you for all your help.
No problem. Okay.
Right, see you later.